What is going on, everybody? My name is Dakota, and welcome back to Dakota's Colognes. Today, we're going to be looking at and reviewing City Rhythms Manhattan. Now, unfortunately, I don't have a bottle of this. I do have a couple decants of this. This is the new formulation. This was just recently reformulated. The new reformulation is a little bit fresher, maybe a little bit greener, and that is exactly what we're going to dive into. So let's get into it. Alrighty, so the layout and the format of this video is going to be a little bit different than what you're used to seeing from my videos, especially because normally I like to show off the bottle presentation, the atomizer, stuff like that. And unfortunately, with this being a decant, I can't really do that because I don't have a bottle of it. But what we can look at, which is the more important of everything, is the fragrance and the scent as itself. This rendition is more of a fresh twist to a tobacco fragrance. The original Manhattan was more of a sweet twist to a tobacco fragrance. I've seen a couple live streams where they've talked about it and stuff. And the one thing that I've noticed that they keep kind of going back to on this specifically is they didn't change the notes, but what they did was they pumped up some of the notes and they dialed down some of the notes to give it a different feel and vibe. So if they use the same notes, but they're just slight in different levels, I don't know if you would call that a full reformulation because this is still a perfume concentration. They didn't change the concentration of anything, just some of the note oils have been turned up a little or turned down a little bit. And as we're getting to some of the notes, we're going to go ahead and get into some of the top notes. And again, this is the new formulation, so this one's a little fresher, a little greener. But the top notes on this fragrance are going to be violet leaf, cinnamon, and bergamot. And when you first spray this, you do get some of that floral, you do get some of that green, you get some of that freshness. For this being a tobacco-based fragrance, it has an incredible morph to it. It takes a little bit for that tobacco that's on the base note to pull all the way through. So the middle notes on this one is going to be tea, pimento leaf, myrrh, and obolanum. I hope I said that last one right. And then the base notes on this fragrance are going to be tobacco, cedar, vetiver, and vanilla. Normally, this on the old formulation of this, which the old formulation has kind of a blue hue to it, the new one is completely clear. Actually, so I don't know if you'll be able to see that, but the old formulation had kind of a blue hue to it. The new one doesn't. It's completely clear. Not really sure why, but something I kind of like that blue juice, something about having a little different color. But yeah, when you first wear this, you get some of that greenness, you get some of that violet leaf pulling through, and oddly enough, you can smell the tea in it. I feel like they pumped up the tea a little bit in this newer one, and that's part of what gives it some of that green fresh feel. Sorry, it's got more of like a floral green on the opening. But as this dries down, to me, the vanilla, the myrrh, and the tobacco is what really starts to come through the most, because the tobacco note on this is a very good tobacco. This smells like a premium tobacco that's in this. But what I'm going to do now is, since I can't really use my turntable and I can't do stuff to really show off the bottle, I'm going to go ahead and give this a little bit of a break. I'm going to give it about 30 minutes like I like to do. I'm going to let this dry down and I will come back and give you some of my thoughts. Stay tuned. Alrighty, and we are back. So it's been about 30 minutes, and I love the dry down of this formulation of it, because to me, I preferred the original blue formulation only because I'm someone who really loves those like strong, heavy tobacco notes, who loves those strong vanilla notes. And they kind of dialed some of those back on this one to pull some of that fresh greenness out of it. And if you're someone like me, that was kind of disappointing, only because, I just love those stronger, thicker scents. But as this dries down, this one morphs and changes significantly more than the original, because on the original, when you sprayed it, you immediately picked up the tobacco, you immediately picked up some of the sweetness. This takes every bit of 30-40 minutes. The more it's still kind of drying down, the more I'm sitting here, the more the tobacco, the sweetness, that rawness just starts to come through. And this is a very smooth blended fragrance. I feel like the qualities that went into this fragrance were very good. They were very high quality. The way the blend was done on this was done very well, because normally you can't get a fragrance to have this dramatic of a change unless it's been quality blended with quality materials. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and get into the pricing availability portion of this. Availability wise, it's very limited. City Rhythm is not a huge company. They are a smaller company, and they don't really sell wholesale to retailers and stuff like that. So retail wise, you're not really going to be able to pick this up anywhere. Maybe some local mom and pop shops in your area might have them. Pretty much it's going to be limited to their website. Maybe one or two other websites out there will have this. When I was looking at it earlier today, the only place I've ever been able to pick these up is from fragrance groups online and their direct website. I hope I'm wrong about that. Hopefully somebody can correct me on that there might be other websites you can pick them up from, but as of that I've been able to see with the kind of digging around I did today, it pretty much was limited to Facebook or from City Rhythm's website himself. Pricing wise on this, unless you get it from a fragrance group, there is no real discounts on them. Now I do know that the gentleman who owns this is in a lot of those Facebook fragrance groups, and he regularly posts 10, 15. I think it's only been once, but I think I saw a 20% off code in there one time, which is awesome. I love a small company that's willing to do discount stuff like that. To me, that is awesome. Your 10 mil testers like this, you can find these in those fragrance groups for about the $24 to $26 range. This is more of a premium price. But for the premium quality that you get with this fragrance, I feel that it's worth it. There's very few fragrances that I would go so far as to say that I think that the price matches the quality. This is one of them. I think for the 50 mil, for this specific one, Manhattan, the 50 mils run about 130, 135, and the 100 mils run about 170. So that's what your pricing wise, like I said, he routinely keeps, 10, 7, 10, 15% discount codes on the fragrance groups. He has his own Facebook page. He posts the discount codes on the page for everyone to use, which again, that's awesome. So now what we're going to do is we're going to get into the performance of this, and the performance of this is awesome. It's amazing. It's an all-day fragrance. This is one of the few fragrances that I don't feel the need to refresh, but I still do anyway because I like layering the top notes with the base notes, as I mentioned. The sillage on this fragrance is very good. It's a 5 to 6 foot sillage fragrance. It falls off your skin the way you want it to. It's because of that parfum concentration, because of the oil they use. It's a very sticky oil. When you spray it on your skin kind of has that glistening shine to it. So it's got that all-day staying power. Longevity-wise on this, for me, is in the 12 to 16 hour range, and that's out of a decant sprayer, which these sprayers do tend to be lower quality than a bottle. I'll probably use 7, maybe 8 sprays out of this one, and that's 12, 16 hours on those 7 or 8. I'll do 4 or 5 on the first one, then I'll come back with another 2 to 3 on the second one, and that'll get me all day. Projection on this is a heavy projector. It projects several feet in front of you, as well as the sillage falling away from you. So yeah, for me, this is a banger fragrance. I can highly recommend anyone pick this up for their home collection. This is a fragrance that if you don't have the extra money lying around, you might have to save up a little bit. But the quality of this fragrance that you're going to get, this fragrance might last you longer than say a cheaper fragrance because you're not going to burn through this as much. But yeah, so performance, top tier. I'll try to post a picture somewhere on here. I'll try to post a picture of the bottle, that way y'all at least kind of get a look out. The bottle choice, the bottle styling is very good. Their entire lineup, they're all named after cities in America. My honest recommendation of this one, to me, this fragrance is a 9.5 out of 10. And the only reason I'm knocking at that half point is I kind of wish the tobacco note fell through a little bit sooner. When it gets all the way to the dry down, this is a 10 out of 10. This is exactly something that I look for in a fragrance that I genuinely love. So to me, this easily has a place in my collection. I'm kind of disappointed I don't have a bottle, but I bought several decants when I did first find this. I tried one, I really liked it. I want to say they were sold out of bottles on the website, so I contacted a guy on a Facebook group, and I think I bought 4 of these. And like I said, it's once you hit a collection of a certain size, it's kind of hard to go through a lot. I think I've worn through about 14 mils of this in the past year or so give or take. But yeah, so that is going to wrap up today's review. I'm going to go ahead and try to get in on that, because this label is basically a print off of what comes on the bottle, except on the bottle, just looks a little bit nicer. But that is going to wrap up today's video. As always, thank you everyone for watching. Thank you everyone for subscribing. Thanks everyone for staying tuned in, for all the support, the comments, the feedback. I genuinely appreciate all that. And as always, we will see you next time.